I believe every day's a good day when you.
Hello, everybody. How you guys doing? Tender Juicy Nuggets, Oberon Loki, thank you so much for the sub. Gosu, what's going on, man? How are you guys this fine Tuesday morning? Alright, I am going to jump right in. Look, it's more Votann. More Votann. It's alright, we're finishing up some colors. I am making it a goal to finish these bikes today. And then, there is a glimmer of hope for me here. So, about to assemble more daughters came nice. Nice. That's awesome. Yo, gearing up for 4th edition, Age of Sigmar. Finished Terminators last night. Oh, sweet Gosu. Congrats, man. Finally got him done. I'm just riding this struggle bus here until it's over, I guess. I do have technically, I guess, 3 character minis to paint, but one of the characters has 4 robot friends, so I have 7 more minis to paint. There's a lot that I kind of started on, but decided just to focus in on the bikes first. So, I'm doing that. Yeah, and I'm hoping, you know, maybe Thursday I can get started on the next project. Thursday might mean painting some Ultramarines real quick, because I have a couple minis to paint before my tournament Saturday. Need to get those done. Okay, 2 more of these guys with the silver. Hey Choach, what's up? Close to being done? Man, I hope so. So what I'm gonna do on these, I'm finishing up some silver. I have some bullet casings to paint, and I have some black to finish up. Then I'm going to go through with a brown wash, and yeah, I'm gonna hit a lot of these spots of the brown wash, mainly these like little saddlebags in the back, all the junk on there, and their coats. And then we're just gonna kind of see from there what things I need to do. Oh, I have another little wash I want to do on the bottom of these little anti-grav things. But I'm basically at that point. I need to do touch-ups on the like bone color plating. And yeah, it's basically just like looking at little things and seeing what I can do to make it all look better. We're often patiently waiting for TPD stream. Oh, sorry, Gosu. I get it, man. I think everybody was unhappy I streamed a video game on Sunday. We were like, no wheel of minis tonight? Oh. Doing good. That's good, Tender Juicy Nuggets. I'm glad. Psychotic thought last night while thinking about how to do my metallic trim. Okay, what's your psychotic thought? Yeah. I mean, that game is so much fun. It's crazy, but that game is crazy fun. I'll have a new codex. Okay, Oberion. All right. Your Daughters of Cain army book or whatever. They called something other than a codex. A tome or something, battle tome maybe. Yeah, Balatro is fun, guys. I won 2 different runs so far, which is tough. It's just beating around 24, but it's really tough. Your Chaos, why is the metallic trim just 1 metallic, like gold or bronze? Okay, oh, weird. Okay, I guess depending on how mutated you want your Chaos Marines. For each with random shifts for each, yeah. Zendril 27 does that with his Night Lords. Night Lords are very much like scavengers. Just kind of pick armor plates off dead Marines or whatever that they can manage to kill, and so he painted their trim different metallic colors. Oh, I am. Oh, dang. Okay. Can you switch me, Zen? Are you able to switch me? I completely forgot about that. When I get an Restream doesn't give me an option to change the category, so I have to forgot to go into Twitch. Switch it over. Ah, thank you. Appreciate it. I am not on it apparently. All right. Runners are done. It's time to get back to work on the Night Lords. Oh, nice. All right. Do some bright gold on some bullet casings. It's mainly right here. Shoulder pad, trim having shifting all kinds of aura. Yeah, okay. I mean, that sounds difficult, but you look for like some kind of color shift paints. You should be able to find some neat and varied things. My understanding is those look really good over metallics, so. Yeah, you're going for a very Zinchi style of Chaos Marine then. I saw someone post in a local Discord of mine on a Horus Heresy channel a picture of some, it was like GW Studio or Minis from White Dwarf or something. And the guy was like, unironically, these are the coolest looking Iron Hands I've ever seen. And I was like, I didn't think that was possible. They're Iron Hands. Like, what is cool about Iron Hands? Hey, Mydra, how you doing? Number one, Iron Hands hater, yeah. Just lame. Surface area can be pretty flat. Okay. A brainworm last night? Oh man. That's where I talked you out of it. You knew better. You had the good sense of judgment. Hey, Painted So, how you doing? It's very Zinchi chaos stuff. Silver I need to do. Some of their heads, they have like little comm devices, little antenna. I was gonna do silver. Got black. And wash. And maybe another wash. And maybe a couple select highlights and touch-ups. Alright, afternoon at work is just killing me. Yeah. Well, hopefully have some time to just chill out at work. I was just saying, we're not good, man. We're not good. Not doing so hot. Day 13, don't remind me. Please don't remind me of how long I've been painting these. Where is these days? Anywhere in the US, but I'm in Ohio. UK land's not much better. You getting Skaven Tide? No, no, I am not. It's Age of Sigmar. I don't buy Age of Sigmar. You have our plastic war dollies. That's right. Yep. That is what I like to focus on. Okay, we got that. I said a little bit of silver. I do have a tiny bit. Just this little end. Brannigan's guy in here. Brannigan's brush has been doing Rebute Gilliman Turbo to work. Oh wow, yeah. Brannigan's brushes are really cool too. Really cool streamer. Let's see. Is there anyone else? It was just you, which I believe. Yes, I painted silver already. Okay. Been asking about color shift a lot. Okay, okay. Yeah, anybody here getting Skaven Tide? It's called Skaven Tide, right? Yeah. The color I'm looking for is black. The time I've seen you in chat, you never noticed me. Oh no. Okay, so basically, there are a lot of little straps and cords and things. Down, I guess, attached to these little carabiners, so. Some questions about painting too. Oh. Finally convinced the painting son to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. We watched the live action series that ends after season 1. You know, like the first season's out. That's it, and I was like, do you want to see how the whole story goes? Like, we can watch the whole show. And he's like, okay. So we just finished season 2 last night. Good. Good. Here, we'll keep watching. He's really liking it, though. About the most exciting news I got. Except I don't know if Zen is still there. I did, I completed a run in Balatro with a red deck. You said you completed with, did you say yellow or black deck or both? Which one did you complete it with? Blue, red, yellow. Yeah. You know, I really like the yellow deck, actually. Just starting with $10. Like, it seems really lame, but... man, being able to just buy stuff off the bat, you really get, like... you get going quick. Blue was the easiest for me. I really struggled with the red deck for some reason. Yeah, so Zen, the last one I ran that I finished was with a red deck, and what I got, it was a little ridiculous. So, you know, I got the Supernova card, and I got one that every time you use a tarot card, it adds one to your multiplier. So that was at like a 45 times multiplier by the time I was done. But I kind of did this a little bit on accident, but it ended up working out. So I had a bonus on my like number of cards in my hands. I had like 8 cards. I got a what do you call them? They're not the tarot or the celestial cards. It's the other ones, like the arcane cards or whatever they are. The spectral cards, yeah. So there was one where you get +1 Joker, but you get -1 to your hand. So I was like, well, yeah, I had over 2/3 of my cards were 1 suit. So I was like, sweet, yeah, let's get another Joker and just like maximize all of my buffs, right? Like just go crazy with it. So I got that, played through a round or two, and then another spectral card. I had tons of money, so I was like, I'm just buying all the cards, right? Another spectral card comes, and there's another one, and it was -2 to your hand, but another Joker, so +1 Joker. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? I have plenty of cards. So I had 7 Jokers, but I only had a hand of 5. I didn't have any. I had dumped my card earlier that was like the like flushes or 4 cards or whatever. So I had to get 5 card flushes to run my hand. I had so many bonuses though that I ended up winning I won the run that way. It was like down to the wire sometimes. Like I would have to like dump a card as like a high card because I'd run out of discards, and it would just be like yeah, like I would like, it's like, yeah, dump a discard. But since I didn't have discard, I'd score like the high card, but then the high card would end up being like 8,000 chips or whatever, points, because I had so many multipliers on it. So like I had some like high card hands that won me rounds just because those scored so many points and I wasn't able to get like the actual flush. But yeah, ended up beating it. I made to like round 29, I think, was the one I ended up losing on endless mode after that. Spawns 2 jokers after selecting the ante. Knife destroys a card to the right and adds Selvire to its... Oh, wow, okay. Just kept feeding the knife. Nice. Nice. Ooh, okay, I'll take a look in a minute, Gosu. Let me finish this black on these minis and happily take a look. I had a really good card, I don't remember the names of any of the jokers, but I had a good one that it duplicated the ability, it cloned the ability on the joker to the right of it. So, early game, I combined that with 2 others. The one it cloned was it was, you have a 1 in 4 chance every time you play a hand that hand gets leveled up. So I was just doing flushes, and there was basically like a 50-50 chance it would get leveled up every time I played it. And then I moved it over to, it was like a face card one, where, was it face cards give you money, or was it the multiplier? I don't remember. I think it might have been the face card multiplier I had at that point. Like ×5 multiplier for every face card. And then I had every card as a face card. And so I ended up just, I was basically 2 × 5 multipliers on every card that was played. I ended up getting rid of that one eventually. I got outclassed by some other stuff. But it would have been really good with like the supernova after a while. Because, yeah, that card takes off after a little while. It's really good. After these little straps that I paint on these guys, I think I'm going to put some washes on them. Just a couple. Before I do that, I gotta look at Gosu's minis he painted. His Terminators that he finally finished. Here's he painting about my painting 40k Space Marines. Oh, they're tiny, yeah. Heresy minis, they feel so simple compared to a lot of their Primaris minis. To me, it's really refreshing to have just like a simple to paint mini. I do have this Forge World mini that is definitely not simple, but even then he's got like nice clear lines, he's got, separation between different details and stuff, so... The panels from Iron Wars? Yeah. Yeah, so you really were just like, you're just like finding things to do. Hey, Kill Panic. I don't feel like trying to figure out what you're saying. What's going on, man? I don't speak Spanish. Trying to get some of these details on these minis. Finishing my Inquisitorial Ancients. Oh, cool. Yeah. Yeah, what pro? Yeah, the one that's not sparking joy is Votann right now. Alright, let's look at... Gosu! Oh, nice. Ooh, red lightning claws. Tartarus armor is the superior Terminator armor. That looks so cool. Nice, dudes look really good. Very nice. Basing looks cool also. You struggling, Boo? Oh gosh. Yeah, they're just rough to paint. It's just a lot. Okay. I need... brown wash. Where is my brown wash? Okay. We got some right here. Sponge chipping, dry brushing, and oil paints. The lightning claws took as long as the rest of the minis. Putting in Talon for weeks, yeah. It's not the color scheme so much, it's the minis. It's 100% the minis. Like, it's impossible not to make mistakes on them. The detail, there's way too much detail, like, sculpted into these minis. It just makes them tedious for no reason to paint. Yeah. It's like 20 reasons why these minis are, you know, not super enjoyable. I am going to take a quick break. I'll be back in like 2-3 minutes, guys. Alright, I am back. Let's get a drink of water. So, next thing I need to do on these minis. Yeah, Night Shift, I think was the guy's name, the YouTuber. Unbelievable vehicle. The video with the historical, the model painter that paints the Sakaran tank. I'm pretty sure I sent that video to you, or I told people about it. Okay. Let's get kind of a scrappy brush here. Yeah, I've seen it. It blew me away. That video was... The way that guy does work is just crazy. I need to add bolts to my kit. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's very much in the perspective of someone who is not going to be gaming with his Mini, right? You know, like, he is painting that for the experience of it, and so, you know, which is a very scale model thing to do. So he, you know, he goes like way just above and beyond the point of like impracticality if you were painting an army. Paint that one Mini. Okay, I think I'm just gonna do this ratty brush here. I'm gonna do these. I'm gonna call them saddlebags, but I know it's not like necessarily a saddlebag, but some liquid skill to come in and help save the day for me. Shifting metallics think could be something to try in the Helldrake. Yeah, okay. What like Legion or color scheme are you going with on your Chaos?
I believe every day's a good day when you paint.
Hey, NoK Guardian, thank you for the sub, man. How you doing? Welcome into the stream. Gerby, what's going on, man? How's your week been? So, guys, I do want to tell you, obligatory announcement here. Second episode of the podcast is available for patrons. So, if you are a member of the Patreon, any level, you have early access to the podcast. And there should be a YouTube video going up for patrons as well tomorrow. It is still a slog on the Votann, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. I'm seeing ways that, you know, I might be able to possibly finish the bikes today. I mean, we're only like half an hour into stream. I got lots of time to work on these guys, so... Base colors are on. I'm doing a wash over a lot of the Mini. And then, so yeah, we're going to be spending some time doing this wash, but then we're going to go, we'll do some touch-ups and maybe a couple little highlights. Local store yesterday. One of 2 customers there. That guy's trying to convince the store staff to start stocking bolt action terrain. Oh gosh. Typically, the regulars you find in a local game store are not the most socially adept people. I was in a local store one time, and a guy I'm familiar with, I have a couple stories about, but he was arguing with the guy at the counter, the staff member at the counter, that he didn't get the credit that he should have for winning a local Yu-Gi-Oh! League. He didn't get the credit on like the national like registry or whatever. And the guy kept telling him, he's like, I don't know what to tell you, like, I don't think we control that stuff. You need to contact the company that's in charge of the rankings and everything. And the guy was like arguing with the staff member about it. Loud, isn't it? A little bit. Wasn't there, you know, one of 2 girls that, oh gosh, yeah. This was at the other store, but yeah, there's the, yeah, even the employees in local game stores are pretty weird too, right? That's just the territory we're in, guys, with being in this hobby. We're an employee because Santa didn't bring him the right... Yeah, it was. No, that guy in particular is really strange. I have a story, this happened, and man, I block this from my mind sometimes, and it just, like, floods back into my brain, like, that this happened. So, my son was 4 or 5. I couldn't remember. He was in preschool or kindergarten. And I took him to my local game store. He was with me. I just needed to get some paint and everything, and he liked to go to, you know, look around and all this stuff. They recognized 2 of the 9 employees as the security guys. Oh yeah. Yep. But you get O'Berry on. You sit there and talk about Tyranids to everybody, and they just all get like annoyed with you. Is that what you're doing? So, anyway. Go to a local game store. We go, and it's like there's kind of like a back corner where all the paint is kept in this particular store. So we walk back there and we're looking at paint. And all of a sudden this guy walks up and he starts talking to my son, which is weird. My son is standing right next to me, and he is 4 or 5 years old. And the guy who's talking, nothing against anything going on with him. He definitely had like a cleft palate, and he talked really fast, so we couldn't understand what he was saying. But he was talking to my son. I'm just like, kind of like, okay, guy, like, what are you doing? So he's asking my son how old he is, and my son doesn't want to answer. And I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah, all right, he's this years old, and he's like, okay, he's like, well, do you play Yu-Gi-Oh? And the kid, and my son has no idea what that is, and I was like, no, he doesn't. Okay, thank you. And I start walking off. He's like, well, Yu-Gi-Oh is a great game for kids. Again, I can't understand a whole lot of what he's saying, so I'm like trying to like decipher what he's saying and get my son out of the way. And he's like, well, let me buy you a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It'll be your first Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And I was just like, whatever, okay, like we're gonna go off. Kind of like turning around to walk away out of the paint area. And my son turns around, he almost runs into a guy that was looking at something facing away from us with like full on like butt crack hanging out, like right at my son's eye level. And my son, like, he just like almost runs into him, and he's just like, and I was like, oh no, this is not good. Like, we got to get out of here. So we A, retired 11B. So I'm like, all right, I got my paint. Let's just go, check out and leave. While we're standing in line, another guy comes up to us. Yeah, he almost got pink eye. Yeah, another guy is right behind us, and he's like a middle-aged guy or whatever. And he's like, you guys, hey, my mini marbles. He's like, you guys play Pokemon? And we're like, no. Like, what is up with everybody today? Like, he's like, man, he's like, you guys should play Pokemon. Like, this game is great. I showed up today, and a 11-year-old girl is just beating everybody. This game is a great game, and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't want anything to do with whatever's going on. Like, that's cool. And, and I was like, please, I just want to get out of here. So like, we fire stuff real quick, and the Yu-Gi-Oh guy, he was like waiting at the just trying to get the youngsters engaged in the creepiest way possible. Yeah. The Yu-Gi-Oh guy's like waiting for us by the front door, and so we go to leave, and he's like, hey, he's like, I have your cards for you. And he like kneels down on one knee and does like a this thing, like a, here you go, with his Yu-Gi-Oh cards to my son, like makes it like a big moment that he gave him Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and my son's like, thank you, and we just like walk out and leave. Like, oh man. So that's what I learned when the yeah, it was like the whole way he did it, like, is like really big deal. Yeah, I was like, all right, so now we know when Yu-Gi-Oh day is, and we know how to slightly avoid that day. One of the problems is that guy, I see him there all the time now, and he was the guy arguing with the staff at the counter about not getting his credit. His like league tournament ranking increased for winning a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament. And so that's the guy. I don't think he remembers me, but I definitely will. I definitely keep an eye on that dude when I'm in that store. Yeah. When the painting son decided he does not like miniature games. Just kidding, he loves them, but OGS, I witnessed this dude with the Custodes army make the rounds get turned out by 5 dudes in the story showed up with an army. Why? Is he like a tryhard or something, or what? I wonder why the Custodes player's getting turned down. Nobody's scared of Custodes anymore. Yeah, Pone, I agree. Yeah. We always remember like the negative experience, right? Like, him almost running face first into the guy's butt crack was something that traumatizes me. Custodes player I know are all like that. Yeah, the Custodes people, just nobody wants to play with them. They don't want to hear a 3-hour rant about how their army's not good. No, Choach, you're exactly right. Wait, hold on. What? Pwn? I'm stuck on that first phrase there. What? Yeah, that's okay. I was like, wow, it's a feat of flexibility, I have to say, and also please don't uh anyway, yeah, no, yeah, that's like anytime you're playing with an army you never played against, right? Or you never played with, is like you got to figure out the rules and stuff, so that's fair though. Seemed like it was a close game. Surprised. I saw Aslan's screenshot at the start of your game. I looked at it real quick and I was like, wait, he's playing Pwn. I was like, I don't see knights on the board. Like, what's going on? Getting flashbacks to The Boys TV show. New Venatari points? Are they like better with their points change or what? I'm not familiar with the Custodes changes. Venatari are the flying ones, right? 165. I don't know if that's good or not. Oh, it was 200. Wow, dang, that's a big drop. Okay. I'm gonna end up playing Custodes here on Saturday. See, I kind of hope I play Knights just because my army's so like melee focused. Like I could do pretty decent into Knights, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm just gonna be happy to play 3 games, get a win or 2. When are Custodes anything other than Air S tier? I saw from this past weekend someone won a GT with the Sisters of Silence detachment, which is really funny because the complaint is Custodes are bad and Sisters of Silence are even more bad, and then they have a whole detachment focused on them, which is extra bad, and then someone won a GT with it. I think it had like Canis Rex, and it had like assassins and stuff. They said it was like 900 points of actual like Sisters of Silence stuff, and the rest was like either allied units or like tanks. But still, might be a bit of it, yeah. I thought their codex was really bad for him, but then that got corrected with Pria Nexus, right? The dev wounds becoming mortals and some points corrections and stuff. I think some like actual rules corrections made him good again. Which is funny that like, man, Custodes players complain at such a rate that GW will fix them in the very next update. Doesn't matter how long the codex has been out, GW is just like, yeah, well, we're gonna make Custodes. We can't have Custodes not be good in the game. When another army does that, it's like a minimum 6-8 months before there's any correction. Yeah. Custodes can like never, GW will never let Custodes be like a not good, like a not competitive army, which is really strange to me. Like they'll let vanilla Space Marines or Adeptus Mechanicus or whatever sit in D tier for a year before they do anything, but it's because Henry Cavill. They just listen to Henry Cavill. He just says something, they're like, oh yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Parachute Cavill. Alright. First part of the wash is done. Okay, sorry, hold on. Gold recipe Vince V did with the gold pigments. No, I'm not familiar. You mentioned that like last week. I have not watched a video about him painting gold or anything, so gold pigment seems like an expensive undertaking. Yeah. Yeah, Henry Cavill just has a like direct line, like on speed dial. He has James Workshop right there, and like they see him calling. It's like a picture of him, you know. 24K baby, this bottle of gold cost me a rack. Hey, Spill Paint Pot, what's up? Yes, yes, more of these. I want a little bit more of a controlled brush, so let's get this big synthetic brush here. A lot more strong. We're gonna try to get the coats on everybody. Amazon. Oh no, 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 no. Hold on. My wash went off my wet palette paper onto my sponge. It was just like absorbing it all in there.
It's cold. Now that's what I call high quality H2O.
Darn it. Alright, absolutely we'll take a drink of water here in a second. Stupid washes. There we go. There we go. No, this isn't even the sexy wash. Yep. Flanders, curse you. Army painter nonsense. Okay, let's try this again. Chaos Knights to build. Oh, wow. Yeah. Chaos Knights, huh? Yeah, Zen, I've been seeing lists, like Ultramarine lists, people have been taking to tournaments, like talking about, that have Gilliman in them. Like, man, could have done it. Especially with like a melee focused army. I think I'm gonna stick with my list as I have it though. With Tigurius and everything. Yeah. No, not this time. If I go to one next month, then I think I'll take Gilliman, but or we'll see. We'll see how I adjust things. Because Gilliman's like pretty decent now. Now that he can walk through walls, he's good. That was like a big thing that was holding him back. Was that he was kind of stuck out of melee with everything. But I do like my army though. We'll see. Maybe after this weekend I'll have a different tone, but post your list. I will. That's not walking. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah. When a Primarch walks through walls, it's not just maybe it is just like effortless for him. 2 installs today. Yeah, all I want to do is I know that's kind of all I want to do too. It's bad. That game is so much fun. So a real quick breakdown of my list. We talked about in the podcast episode. I talked about a lot of reasons why I took what I took. My list is a little different from then, though, because we filmed that like last week, and I was still kind of brainstorming ideas. But I have the new. That's a new what, Path of Exile. Is that what you're talking about? That's all I see when I see PoE is Path of Exile. So, I have not Gilliman, Calgar. Calgar's in my list. G-Man can walk through walls. Yeah. Primarchs. The Primarch keyword can walk through walls, which is Gilliman and the Lion. So, okay, my list is I have Calgar, Tigurius, and Uriel Ventress. Alright, 3 epic. It's very hero heavy. Alright, so if you don't like that, then too bad, you're not going to like my list. But I have those 3. I have an Apothecary Biologus with Fire Discipline, because I'm running Gladius. No, Abaddon, well, if he's infantry, he can. I don't know if he counts as infantry, but he is not a Primarch, is he? He doesn't have that keyword. There's a very like specific set of keywords they allowed to walk through walls. Let's see. I have Apothecary Biologus with Fire Discipline, which gives sustain 1 to his squad, and on Dev Doctrine they get critical hits on 5 pluses. Crucial because he gives lethals as a normal rule, so lethal and sustain on 5 pluses. Anyway, I have a Judiciar with Artificer armor because points. It was 10 points. I had 10 points extra. I have a captain with the Honor Vehement is the enhancement, and he has a Power Fist and a Plasma Pistol. The Honor Vehement gives him +1 strength and attack on his weapons, and he gets +2 strength and attacks on Assault Doctrine when he's in Assault Doctrine. So he is a super beat stick. Oh, fun fact. Okay, Zen, this might be another thing that interests you a little bit. In Gladius Detachment, that Honor Vehement enhancement, you can give it to a Gravis Captain. Alright? That +1, your weapons have +1 attack and strength. The Gravis Captain has 2 melee weapons. And you give him he has the Power Fist, and he gets the Relic Power Fist or whatever you can give him, but he has the different Relic weapons he can choose. So if you do a Power Fist and a Relic Power Fist, yeah, he gets normally +2 attacks at +1 strength, and then Assault Doctrine he gets +4 attacks. So he could just get a ton of attacks at bonus strength and Assault Doctrine, which is really cool. That's a really cool ability. I feel like if I wasn't taking Gilliman, Gravis Captain with Aggressors would be a really good choice. Anyway, okay, so those are my characters: Captain, Judiciar, Apothecary, Biologus, and the 3 epic heroes. Battle line, I have 2 big units of Assault Intercessors. One goes with the Judiciar, one goes with the Captain, and basically it gives them rerolls to wound. And it gives me a battle line unit. Those are the purposes for those. Rerolls to wound are so good. So I have that. I have a unit of heavy intercessors, just a little one, for backline holding objectives. Also partially because points, they're cheap and I had the points for them. So I had that, and then a unit of 5 intercessors. Just regular ones for the sticky objectives. So a whole bunch of battle line. Trying to take advantage. I know 2 out of our 3 missions have mission rules that benefit battle line units. So, and also there's what do you call it? The secret missions and stuff that kind of work around battle line units as well. So yeah. Then my normal squads, or my other data sheets, I have 6 aggressors with Boltstorm gauntlets and the Fragstorm launchers that go with Calgar and the Biologus. So just putting out, they kill basically whatever they want. Yeah, double fisting. That's right, Pone. 6 Blade Guard that go with Tigurius, just on foot. What else? I have 3 Eradicators. As just extra. I have company heroes that go with Uriel Ventress. And I have what's the last couple things? A unit of Inceptors with the plasma. I probably should have taken the bolt guns, but I modeled them with the plasma because it looked cooler. And now here I am wanting the bolt guns. And then I have 5 infiltrators. Oh, I have another hero. I have 5 infiltrators, and they're joined by a librarian and Phobos armor. So they have their 12-inch anti-deep strike bubble, and they can't be targeted with shooting if you're more than 12 inches away. Or if you're less than 12 inches away, or 12 inches or less. You have to be more than 12 inches to target them. So, basically the theme of my list is melee focus, and it's characters buffing their squads. So I have a lot of CP generation and abuse of free strats kind of thing. Or -1 CP strats and all that stuff. So throwing around a lot of stratagems because Gladius has a lot of good ones. And yeah, like running through walls. I have no vehicles in my list. So I can just run through every wall that I want to. I have a lot of advance and shoot and advance and charge. And yeah, get up in melee, shut the enemy out of like, half the board. That's pretty much the goal. A lot of pretty tough bodies over, a lot of 3 and 4 wound minis. A lot of battle line to hopefully capitalize on taking objectives and stuff. So that's my list. The one adjustment I could make, I'm not going to make. It's too late, and I like Tigurius, but it would be taking out Tigurius. If I took out Tigurius and I knocked the Judiciary down to a chaplain, I could afford to take a lieutenant to go with the Blade Guard to give them all lethal hits. And I could take a Blade Guard Ancient in that squad. The Blade Guard Ancient kind of sucks, but he's really cheap. He gives everybody extra OC in the squad. And then he has a once per game, everybody in the squad gets an extra attack. So if you make that first charge, your lieutenant gets the extra attack. The Blade Guard doesn't even have the Ancient doesn't even have a power sword or anything though. So like he doesn't do much on his own. But he's like 45 points. The Ancient? Yeah, the Ancient was pretty fun to paint. I painted like 3 of them. For various people and everything. Ebonagels of the God of Whoopins. Is that your Daughters of Cain? Is that what you're talking about? There's just like a Drukari reference. Abaddon's infantry? Is that what you're talking about, Pone? So he should be able to walk through walls if he's infantry. Which makes sense. He's not like big monster level character. I thought you're talking about like the musical group, the band, ABBA. The Ancient was from Indomitus. It is in like the weird Heroes of the Imperium box or whatever they call it. It's like a $130 set. That's like the one sprue from Indomitus that you can't buy anywhere else. It's like where you get the Judiciary and all that. And that like Relic Shield Captain. Under the chat, $168, yeah. Voting yesterday when his mom... Oh, okay, yeah. That's, look at that. We talked about all the weird people we see at our local store. Oberion is one of them. We're all one of them, but Oberion is proving it to the public. It's the Blade Guard Ancient's a cool mini. It's kind of strange. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like it's just a dude holding a hand and a banner with a corpse on it. Like I don't know what it means. Like whose hand is that? Whose body is that? Like does the guy have lore blurbs? I don't know. I never bothered to read any if he did. I just want to assume it was like his friend. Or is it like the last Blade Guard Ancient? They like chop him up and put his like skeleton hand. Like you gotta carry this. Ancient Chaplain Judiciary. Yeah, $168 is really steep for that. But, like, that's a good set. Like, all of those minis are cool and, like, good. And that Chaplain in that set looks way better than, like, the normal box Chaplain. Yeah, it's just the sprue. The one sprue that they didn't they couldn't like separate. So it's all those minis on that sprue. $13 of symbol. So flimsy and many awkward divides. Yeah, a lot of those minis are really old, right? Like their basic infantry was from those Warhammer Fantasy. Those were witch elves. They're not like old, but they were like 8th edition. Kind of before GW was like, we're just doing monopose and cutting things weird. Yeah, they're single sprue. Yeah, Zen, that's what I was saying, man. It's just the one, they're the minis that were all in the same like starter set sprue that they couldn't separate and sell individually. So you have to buy them all at once if you want to get those minis officially. Yeah, I think it was 8th edition when those a lot of those plastic elite infantry for Warhammer Fantasy came out. Yeah, they do the same with Leviathan though. Like Leviathan's the same. They have a sprue with like the Stern Guard and the Biologus and other stuff. I think it's all in the same sprue, so you have to buy it all in one. It's appropriate that the Witch Elves are a pain, though, right? It's kind of their shtick. Beef juice and meat today. All right. Hopefully the butcher's open. I keep forgetting it's the 4th on Thursday. I'm in 3 phases because the pieces stack onto Oh, that's annoying. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, a lot of those like chaos minis from the Combat Patrol, right? Like the Obliterators and the Venom Crawler are still on the same sprue and everything. It's crazy. Not very long-term thinking on GW's part. Yeah, plus actually think things through, yeah. Money now, that's what matters, right? In GW's defense, they're really good about thinking of profits, though. Seemed like extreme value Bretonnia for like $50 more. Yeah, yeah, I love the Bretonian minis. I think there's something great about like somewhat more generic looking fantasy minis. I'm actually going to be painting some Bretonians on stream. Yeah. Relatively soon. We'll see when I can finish these. I have one more quick project I want to do here, and then I'm going to get those Bretonians going after these Votann minis. Max their customer base is hard. Yeah, they've been doing that for years, though. Years and years and years. Time to print those skull things. Maybe this week. Yeah, I have some a print or two I need to run anyway, so I can try to print those for you. I'll try to get those set up and printed. I did just get a bunch of resin. I have to go to my a hardware store close to me that sells isopropyl really cheap, so I need to go get some of that. But otherwise, I think it's a good time to fire up the printer. I'm really trying to finish these this week, though. Like, my priority is these minis, and I had to paint my own for the tournament and stuff, but Season 3 of Horrifeudia? I don't know what that is. Yeah. You tried Magnesium from Pearl Krill. Chaos Land, I have not tried that yet. No, I haven't. Hey, Blue, what's up, man? How was your stream last night? I wasn't able to catch it. Okay, the anime. Okay, cool, cool. Well, cool. Always good to get your TV shows going. Vegetables from the garden this year at last. Looked at cabbage and some Japanese cucumbers. Nice. Painting wife is doing a big project right now. She has a lot of houseplants. Relatively new hobby of hers, but she has been loving having a bunch of houseplants, and the entire upstairs of her house looks like kind of like a jungle, but she's enjoying it. Well, the problem is we have these gnats in the house, and they are in every plant pot everywhere, and she has tried so many things to get rid of the gnats, and finally I think what she she has to do like her nuclear option is what she's doing today, which is she has to repot all of her plants, but when she takes them out of the pot, she has to she's gonna clean the roots, actually scrub the roots on the plants. So yes, dude, she's doing it all today. She has 25 different plants. Besides one, the giveaway. Boo. All right, you got painting this month. What are you painting? What's the next giveaway? Have characters, simply big models are stupid expensive, but some of the squads are actually decently priced. Yeah. I think a lot of that Fuegan is a product of when the minis were released. And game system. So it seems Age of Sigmar stuff is a little cheaper overall than 40k. 40k seems the most blatantly overpriced. Heresy stuff is a little cheaper overall, it seems like. Yeah, the old world stuff I think is just a little cheaper. But yeah, it's characters and monsters and stuff are crazy expensive. In characters, yeah, $40 on a single mini. It's a good value for GW. And I spent a good portion of my day yesterday switching home and auto insurance. Same price in a box set? For 24 years. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I remember buying 3 minis in a sprue. Not in a sprue, in a blister pack, and they were $9 for the 3 of them for Warhammer minis, or 4 if they were small, $15 for an artillery piece for the Empire that was in a blister. 8 for each blister. Yeah, I remember those days. Hey, Killer Cam, how you doing, man? Yeah, we pay our auto insurance and our home insurance annually, and it's automatic withdrawal, which is fine. And then they withdraw the amount, and I was like, this seems way more. For a our auto insurance is every 6 months. And I was like, this is way more for a 6-month period than I remember. This looks more like our annual number. So I looked into it, and they've just been climbing our rates every year, significantly. So I was like, yeah, no thanks, I'm done. So yeah, looked around and signed up for another policy, and between home and auto insurance, gonna save myself over $3,000 a year because I'm not putting up with the current company's nonsense. So Yeah, metal Skaven slaves and the blisters. Yeah, I remember those minis. Yeah. Know them off work. Nice, nice. Else who should be weary of? Yeah. Well, think about insurance companies. Insurance companies are weird. Um, they so there's like a thing where like if you're just sitting with them for a long time, like they'll raise your rates because they feel like they can. You're not going to do anything about it. So that's part of it, and then part of it is like insurance companies kind of have this weird thing where they kind of focus on demographics a little bit, and they might be able to offer a cheaper rate for a specific demographic, like young people, or like married with kids or retired people or something. You might get like slightly cheaper rates somewhere based on like being in that specific demographic at that time. But yeah, yeah. The weird thing about insurance, though, I think especially homeowners insurance is one that they do this with, um, where they they really don't like it when people just shop around for insurance. So if you shop around for insurance, they might actually raise your rates if you're like always looking for like quotes and everything like that. Like they'll find out and just straight up like charge you for it. Never look back. Past 5 6 years, car insurance got like $20 a month in total. Yeah, yeah. Ours went up. Our auto insurance went up the past 2 years. It's gone up. Let me see. Maybe like $700 a year. Seems like collusion. Oh yeah, yeah. And that's all insurance companies do, man. All these big corporations. If you feel like they're not colluding with each other to get, the most out of everything, like I would laugh at your naivete. But yeah, yeah. You can like it can mess up your insurance rate. It's like your credit score. I think if you're constantly checking your credit score and like getting credit reports, it actually lowers your credit score. Because the whole purpose of your credit score is to keep you in debt, right? Like we laugh at like China for having like a social credit score, but that's exactly what credit scores in the US. It's just like, can you pay your debts? Are you being a responsible citizen? But your credit score is lower if you don't have debt, because it's better for the companies if you're paying interest, like the companies that run all this stuff. Yeah, yeah, you take a hit if you just inquire about your credit, which is ridiculous, right? Like there's no harm in that whatsoever. But that's what happens. Yeah, so no, our insurance had gone up in a ridiculous amount of money. So our homeowners insurance is about half the cost with the new company, and our car insurance is about half the cost. Okay, yeah, yeah. So minus 20 points, yeah. Ugh. Let's get our little gun here on the front. Yeah, there's nothing consumer friendly about credit scores. Or so many things. Get bad credit if I have zero debt and pay everything off. Yes, yes, Pone, that is exactly right. Yeah, if you like buy a car and you have like a car loan and you pay it off, your credit score will drop when you pay off that car loan. Yeah. Um yeah, if you never take debt, you have bad credit. Yeah, cuz oh, I don't know if you'll, be a good responsible person, but like that's ridiculous if you don't have debt. If you pay your credit card off every month, it lowers your debt, or it lowers your credit score. Um, because the companies, they all collude with each other. They want you paying interest. because paying interest gets them money. So they can determine, because if you remember, credit scores aren't like a federal like number, right? It's like private companies that are determining your credit score. Dispute things on it? Yeah, yeah. That credit card for that reason? Yeah, so we have a credit card. We buy almost everything on our credit card, but we pay off everything every month. Like, we still budget our money and pay every month. So it doesn't like it very it helps our credit score very little, which I don't care. You know, like, give me the free couple $100 every couple months, bank. Like, that's all I care about with a credit card. Media server working hard just now. Restart. I think Windows update broke my. I've heard Blue. I've heard the Windows like 11 has been like crashing everything, and Microsoft may or may not be freaking out about it. It wasn't 11. Oh, okay. I mean, you, an IT person, didn't install Windows 11 on your server? Yeah, yeah. Look at that. You already have your entire day planned, Blue. Fixing your rolling back updates, right? Locally, if a debt collector sues you, judges don't even understand why collectors need actual proof of the debt. Just take them at their word. Oh my gosh, yeah. A lot of messed up things. They don't show up. Oh. What happens if they do show up? They don't show up and the debt collector just shows the papers and they're like, yep. It. I didn't even paint the... Oh my gosh. You know what? Forget the weirdest things on minis. Even paint the gun casing on this mini. It's literally the only one I didn't do that with. Legal system, the banks slowly just morphing in one. Slowly, I don't know. This past week seemed like it was a pretty quick move. You guys know the president is immune from illegal prosecution. Bribery is legal now. Federal regulatory agencies don't have authority to regulate. It's great. Yeah, Ghost, it blew my mind too. I am surprised. Right, yeah, like, it's just crazy. The president of the US is literally allowed to just assassinate a political rival and say it was for the good of the country, you know, keeping the country safe. Boom, official duties. Doesn't matter. I think what's crazy though is no, because yeah, it can work that way. Because the only way the president can get the only authority to prosecute the president goes through Congress. So the immunity goes with official acts, and they don't have. The Supreme Court kicked it to a lower court, to an appeals court, to determine what official acts means, what that term means. So, official acts of president, if that's like, you know, being in charge of the defense of the country, like, you know, and if president assassinates the number of people needed to impeach him, who's going to determine if he can be impeached? I guess nobody. Right? had limited grouping. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that's today, right? Episode tonight. Yeah, we'll be I'll watch it tomorrow, or yeah, tomorrow. What's up, Raja? Alright. I think that's it for the wash. That many. So let's just finish up. Yeah. Supreme Court decided that president has immunity in carrying out official acts. They did not determine what constitutes an official act. They kicked that specific question down to an appeals court, where it'll probably sit for 6 months, go back to the Supreme Court, and they'll maybe decide on it in the next year or 5. I know, the joke is, and the comment about that is, that what is an official act as president? There is literally no definition of that, and it would take years to determine. So the president can literally do whatever they want and call it an official act, and there is no court in the country that would get through to determine that, the answer to that question, for years. Because any president could just slow roll it, as we have seen, and make it so that question is never answered. So functionally, the president has no or unlimited immunity, or there's no limit on the immunity to the president functionally. Legally, sure, there's limits, right? Like, you know, we all understand that the Supreme Court ruled that, oh look, no, it's only in official duties, right? Like that's you know, the limit. That makes sense, but it really doesn't. It, like, that's, yeah, president can just say what something's official and then it sits in court for years and years and years.
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you
Air
for allowing me
Raptor,
back in.
welcome. How you doing, man? Yeah, it's absolutely wild. Like, that is one of the, like, this whole past week of Supreme Court rulings has been baffling at the best. Like, the Supreme Court justices said that all their bribery was cool. Like, yeah, you can bribe federal officials as long as you do it after the fact. Like, you can't offer them money for doing something, but you can give them money after they make the decision that you want them to make. So that's cool. That's allowed. You know, oh yeah, hey, federal regulation agencies, nah, you guys don't get any power. And yeah, and also, why not? We can criminalize homeless people. It's a crime to be homeless. Oh, and then also, like, you know, you can be immune being president. You're at an official duty, do what you want. And we'll sit it in court for the next 15 years to determine if it was illegal or not. Slowly trying to get back into painting. Sweet, man. What are you working on? What kind of stuff you painting? Guard player 20-ish years ago. Nice. Alright. That's cool, man. Guard are always cool. They're just, like, eternally awesome. Do you have minis? Do you still have your old minis, or are you you buying a bunch of new stuff? Place to keep stuff out? Yeah. Yeah, the Solar Auxilia minis look great. I have some Solar Auxilia I plan on painting eventually. Bunch of armor. Sweet. Nice. I think what I might do, guys, I might do a little bit with the skin, and then I just do touch-ups and be done with these minis. I've done enough. I've spent enough time on them. Leviathan assembled. Cool. Very cool, Groovy. It's good to hear. Yes. Obarian, I want to paint more stuff. I'm tired of painting Votann. But I have to paint more Votann tomorrow because I have a bunch of characters to paint. So. You're stuck with Votann at least one more day. Yeah, Raptor. We'll see if that works. But no, that's a noble goal. Not many people can pull that off. Marcus Day, hold on. Add my player, explain me vehicle shooting combat lets you hit on 2s. There might be something like a +1 to your ballistic skill and then +1 to hit or something weird. There might be some weird way to rule it where it could work. But I don't know. Yeah, I think this fall or something is rumored to be Guard Codex and a bunch of Death Corps of Krieg. Strange, so my dwarves, Bretonnians, and Skaven. Oh, I'm not getting an Old World. I have an Old World army. I still haven't been able to put it on the table, but I've been too busy with these Votann minis, and I haven't like finished up my movement trays or anything, so... Yeah. Yes. I have a lot of variety too, I just can't. Commissions, no. Commissions are too much. It's alright. I'm excited for my other commission jobs. They're nothing quite as extensive as these 18 Hernkin Pioneers. All of them are basically like 15 minis or less, and I don't think any of them take as long as these specific minis. So, tune for me. Keep streaming back. Sure. Yeah, it is brutal. You cooperate, so I can. Yeah. I'm gonna take a quick break, guys. I'll be back in just a couple minutes, and then we're gonna finish up some washes, and hopefully, we're gonna try to finish these minis today. Alright, I'm back. Sim is on sale right now. Probably $10. Oh, there you go. Alright. Alright, Marcus, you gotta explain to us. How do you hit on twos? Yeah, TTS is the way to go. Just learning the game and stuff. I just need to paint it, yeah. And as I do with these minis, I realize there's more stuff I need to do than I was initially just looking at. Yay!
First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your home.
Dr. Dogtooth, how you doing? Welcome into the stream. Just hanging out painting some Votann. I feel like I've been doing for way too long now. But hey, Votann, how you doing? Good to see you. You know, I work, yeah. Well, very cool, man. Are you in the hobby? What kind of stuff you paint? If so, or you play games or anything like that? You into actually like Warhammer? Votann or Votann? I don't know. Votann. I have no idea, man. No idea. I'm just trying to finish these minis. Something in the trade channel you should see? Okay. One moment. Pretty new to the painting side. Always been level 40k novels and lore. Oh, very cool. We got a squad of sisters. Sisters minis look great. They are a little tedious to paint, but no, they're good looking minis. Vampirus? That is an old mini. That looks like it's actual lead too. Ruby. That's crazy. It's really cool though. New Sphere, what's up? How you doing? Yeah, I'm at that point. Yeah, just call them whatever you want. I've been able to unpack Rasia. But you're like moved in, right? Are you still like, yeah, obviously you're still unpacking, but you're still like in process of everything? Next Sisters batch may need to be sub-assemblies. Maybe, yeah. They're not like... I've painted, I feel like my fair share. I painted a Sisters army for somebody. And it wasn't like horrible. I enjoyed it. Just like, yeah, a lot of capes and cloth. Like if you don't want to work your brush around the weird angles, then you might be doing some sub-assemblies. The minis that were the worst to paint, I think, were the Nundum suits, whatever those are called. Those ones took a long time. In gray color camo cloaks. Votann, I'm about to do that. I have a squad of Eliminators and a squad of, Phobos Armored Librarian who has a bunch of cloaks on him. I think I'm going to do gray camo on the cloaks. Yeah, the Paragon suits. Yeah, the Nundums. Yeah. Sarah Elizabeth, good afternoon here. It's afternoon here. Welcome. How are you doing? Movers are coming tomorrow. Okay. Alright. Got Chimera. Oh, cool. We got the Chimera. Nice. Very cool. That set comes with a lot of like good stuff in it too. Like you get like Grand Admiral Thrawn and comes the gauntlet, the little Mandalorian gauntlet and everything. It's like a weird place to put that, but it's in there. I actually saw Rasia. There's a decent little group in like the Cincinnati area that plays Armada. And I saw someone somewhere was talking about like trying to find people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we got a group and all this stuff." So afternoon, I had to look too. Yeah, it's close though. You know, it's only, you know, like technically afternoon, right? SSD, Big Rebel Frigate, second interdictor. Holy cow! All right. I will tell you about the second interdictor. You'll probably never use the second one, but that's all right. I mean, you're collecting and everything. I actually won the biggest tournament I ever won. I used an interdictor. It was a you know, as someone who piloted almost exclusively rebels, it was kind of ironic that the one big tournament that I won was using Empire. Was doing the things I like to do, which is shenanigans. So how I modeled my fleet, how I play the game. Yeah, yeah, I'm all about playing shenanigans. That's just like the kind of armies I like. Yeah, you definitely want to get things while you can. That's fair, Rage. Yeah, I don't know. Well, you have enough ships. You might actually have one, but you have like an upgrade card pack. I don't know if the guy got you one from the lot that you purchased. Yeah, one or two of those will get you all the cards you need. He's an orc player. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. I am a troll at heart. Yeah, I do just love to troll people. That is what I do. Okay, I need to get... Where was it? It was this guy. Dumb of me. This whole time I just forgot to paint. Okay. And then there was a couple other things. These light bulbs here. Depends about getting Emperor's Children when they come out. I mean, Emperor's Children will be cool. You still got a little while before that. I'm sure they'll have all kinds of weird rules too. I don't think they'll be super straightforward. So if you like doing nonsense like that, then sure they'll have their uses. That's all for them. Alright, let's go through real quick. We're just going to highlight some skin. Today's goal. All the Malifaux. Nice, nice. Selling all the Malifaux stuff. Discord and a Facebook group for some local players. Going to try it next week sometime. Oh, cool. Very cool. That's exciting. Yeah, Raja, I am totally down to play some Armada. All right. Fence ball. Okay, yeah. Either get them or you don't. Ah. ECR auto get? Yeah, okay. Alright. You have to buy them. Sorry. No choices anymore. Like in the Nurgle Demons, okay. I'm gonna do a real quick highlight around the skin on everybody. We can do a little bit with the hair after that. Slanesh demons seem like the worst to paint, to be honest. They just don't look like as much fun as the others. I have painted a total of 1 Demon of Chaos my entire life. More limited the amount of models they have compared to other Chaos factions. Yeah. But they always have, like... They all have, like, weird bits of cloth all over them. Which is, like, it's kind of like whatever, but it's just more effort to paint. That's mainly what I'm looking at when I'm thinking about painting the minis. Like, how many details do I have to paint on a particular mini? And, like, the Tzeentch demons have a lot of details on them and stuff, but the Tzeentch demons are very organic. The chariots are huge. Yeah, the chariot is brutal. See, the difference between the Tzeentch and the Slanesh, though, like, the Tzeentch demons have a lot of details on them. But, like, they're organic, and they have, like, fun colors to them. I feel like if you're painting in, like, the more, like, standard color schemes, you're able to play with colors a lot more with the Tzeentch stuff. Hey, that's fine. That's fine. Scan of the box of Zangors? Cool. I actually have some Zangors to paint very soon. A Zangor list for kill team. Ooh. Made the slaves. Slaves of Darkness, is that what you're talking about? For Age of Sigmar? Yeah, nice. Okay. One sorcerer we can run 10 Zangors. Oh, cool. Alright. Hey, Binary Geek, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. What have you been up to? Some work on Dark Angel's Captain and Gravis armor. Very cool. Very cool. It's a pretty solid mini, too. Painted one of those a while ago. Did that come out like last year, or was that the year before? See, normal army somewhere? Yeah, Slanesh definitely isn't represented. Yeah. People really like Nurgle. Because I think, like, the gross aspect. Tzeentch, to me, is the most, like, chaos of demons. Like, the, cosmic horror, like, indescribable. Your brain can't fathom, you know, what's going on. And I feel like that is the most... Like, mostly Tzeentch. That's the Tzeentch kind of stuff. Alright, let's see here. We're gonna mess with some blue. It's blue. And Deathwing. Bone White looked dirty, so I embraced it and went with a Grimdark theme. That's cool. That's cool. I painted some Deathwing for someone a year or two ago. They looked incredible. I had a blast painting Deathwing minis. Bit of flow improver. Some contrast medium down. Right, so Pop's gonna... Cool. You know what, Binary Geek? If you want to share some pictures, I would love to see some pictures of your Deathwing. Do you have a Discord? If you will come hang out in the Discord, I love seeing pictures of minis you guys paint, or you got like an Instagram or something you share it on. I don't mind, you know, taking a look over there and giving you a follow. Aren't the lowest varieties say daughters? Okay. What about like the giants? Isn't there like an army of giants? They have like 2 models. It's kind of not fair to compare the knight army of Age of Sigmar to like normal armies, but yeah, Sons of Bahamut. Okay. Let's mix this around. what I got here. It's kind of bright. Yeah, we'll go for it. Talisar blue is just super bright. It's to build, let alone paint. Yeah, I have a lot of stuff on my own that I'm been wanting to paint, but other things to do. I still have my Solar Auxilia battle group. That is primed and sitting on paint handles. Ready to go. Hey Murdoch, how you doing? Since has the lowest variety, alright. Okay. Little blue skids here. I think I will win my first competition. Okay. Like, you think you're going to win, or you're just like, I'm just going to do it because I'm going to will myself to do it. Grey Knights, Ultramarines, Grey Knights, Necrons, Death Guard. I have a Mountain of Shame. Yeah. My 40k armies, I tend to have, like, a couple minis. Like a box or two, like, waiting in the wings. And then I get around to painting it, and then, like, that's it. My 1,000 Suns, I generally have maybe 6 or 7 things to paint at any given time. Then I have my old world army that I painted 3,000 points of stuff, and like I have, I guess, 5 or 6 things to paint for that army. Some stuff to assemble and paint too. I try to keep caught up, relatively speaking, on my armies, but I like to have the options. You know, if I just want to, if I'm just in an old world mood, I can just pull out the some vampire counts and paint them. If I'm, you know, wanting to paint heresy stuff, I have tons of heresy things to paint. Just kind of how I like to operate, I guess. Votann looks good. Yeah, okay. The voting looks good. Okay, the voting looks good for you. All right. Well, cool. That's exciting. I am not one for competition painting. You printed statues to paint for a friend. That's cool. I got some things I need to print. You have these Solar Auxilia minis to paint, and I have a paint scheme all set out. I tested it out. I got all my ideas. Everything's written down. I think it'll be relatively quick to paint. I just need the time to paint it, but I gotta catch up on all this stuff, so it's sad. Next 2 or 3 weeks are gonna be like nothing but commission painting. I have time to get the finishing touches on. Oh, okay, okay. Oh man, Binary Geek. All right. Kind of all over the place with the minis. Very cool though. 2 days. Oh, cool. All right. So, Murdoch, you are a good painter, so I can see it. I'm not terribly surprised. Oh, everyone had the same mini? Oh, cool.
Look at me!
All right, 1 second. Take a look. Where is this mini? Oh, cool. All right. Nice, Murdoch. This little base and everything. Man, Imperial Fist. All the Imperial Fists. Yeah, it's a sound alert. And Votann. Votann, you painted the Imperial Fist, right? Or is that you? Who's Eladan? I don't know who's who. You have time to do the full highlights. Yeah. That's all right. You'll get there. You're Eladan. Okay. Yeah, Murdoch, you can put yours up there. That'd be cool. Were you guys in the same competition? Okay, you weren't. All right. It's unfinished. Okay. Get this guy's blue things here, and then we'll. after this blue, I'm going to touch up the gray on these minis, and then we'll see what else we have to do before we get kind of our basic finished bikers. So proud of it. Oh, nice. All right. The Imperial Fists. Most people did Ultramarines. One person did Blood Angels. Oh, yeah, Murdoch. That's really good looking, dude. Is that like the old Cadian sniper? Or the old, like, Imperial Guard sniper, like the special weapon team guy? Yeah, it looks really good. I used to have a bunch of those minis. Back when I had my Guard army way back when. Those are some of my favorite miniatures from the Guard. It looks really good. I'll take it for a Marine. Ha! I know better. I know better. I'm an old man. I've been in this hobby for a long time. I know what the minis are. I also have a box of eliminators like primed on stands right next to my desk. So like if I mistook it for anything, it would be an eliminator. And I have them right there, and I was working with them recently, so I know for a fact like that's not what they are. Start. I got my first army in HQ in 2012. I started in this hobby with Lord of the Rings strategy battle game back in 2002. Early 2002. It was actually the Fellowship of the Ring strategy battle game. Finished high school and started college. Yeah. For 2 years. Nice. Alright. We're doing really good for just 2 years, Murdoch. I've been in this hobby for, was that over 22 years now? They're taking longer than I thought they would. Back in the day, though, if you wanted to learn something like a paint technique, YouTube didn't exist. There's no such thing as a content creator. You had to look up a White Dwarf magazine, or eventually GW released a book called How to Paint Citadel Miniatures that was really helpful. How to make Wargames terrain. Where you start like scouring forums like Daka Daka and Bolter and Chainsword and stuff. What was the other ones? Warseer? Warseer was one of them. That was a popular one. Killed our battle force. Yeah, and you're talking like the 5th edition stuff, right? 5th, maybe early 6th edition. So it wasn't like the old Dark Eldar, not the old like metal stuff. It was you had the good stuff. Yeah. 5th edition Dark Eldar were the best. Best codex. Coolest codex GW has ever made. Bill Kelly was such a like hit or miss when he wrote codexes, whether it was going to be cool or not. People blame Matt Ward for a lot of the goofy stuff, but Bill Kelly wrote the 5th edition Space Wolf Codex. So he's responsible for Wolf and Fang everything and Frost everything. Well, he's partly responsible for it, but he wrote the Dark Eldar Codex, so I can't be mad at him. Yeah, I bought so much Dark Eldar when they came out into like 2010, that revamp. So much. Through them. LGS. Yep, you could read through them. Yeah, they didn't have them all sealed in shrink wrap. Very trusting of Games Workshop. The new app, yeah. I really like the app people seem to use a lot for 40k that I like to use is Tabletop Battles. Obviously, it doesn't have like unit rules and stuff, but it's very helpful when you're playing a game to make sure you don't forget about like scoring different points and stuff. Only see the stuff you need, yeah. This one, Eldar Tau. I like the fantasy elf culture. Robots, Tau are interesting. Yeah. Tau were cool. I had their 3rd edition codex. They were actually the army that got me into 40k. But, I didn't like what they turned into like 5th, 6th edition. Tau were very cool in a very, like, unique army when they came out. They were very like tactically sound. Battle suits supported the infantry, but it was like always mechanized infantry. They're all about like speed and maneuver and, you know, waiting until the moment's right. And then they went like full battle suit because that's what apparently people latched on to. Dark Angels used to be the cool Space Marine faction. They always stuck in my headcanon as top. Oh yeah, oh that's cool. Dark Angels. One thing I loved, one of my favorite things GW ever did, and this is kind of silly, but the core rulebook for 4th edition. And they kind of do this in every edition, but for some reason, the 4th edition one always stuck out to me as like the coolest. They did a 2-page spread, or it ended up being it's like 4-page spread on every faction. And what they did was they had a like a piece of artwork showing like a character from the factions. They had the Space Marine. It was like Crimson Fist, who with the Power Fist, just like walking forward, like wildly out of proportion. But it was cool. Like the orc, they had like this cool orc boy. The elf, they had like this Farseer with like this crazy alien cat. Cool stuff like that. They had a really cool name for the faction. So like the orcs, they called it the Beast, and they had like the Devourer and the Angels of Death. They did all kinds of stuff like that. So that was really cool. And then the next page, so they had that with like the artwork. On the other side was like a lore blurb, a quick lore blurb about that faction. And then they had a 2-page spread after that, after those first 2 pages, and it was just this like full 2-page picture of like the studio army for them. And I'm pretty sure it was like, you know, on a green grass field, you know, just with their like studio painted minis. Just great pictures. That always stuck out to me. Like the artwork was always super cool, like the Space Marine artwork and stuff. But even then, the Ultramarines then, this was before their 4th edition codex, because this was the core book. Ultramarines still had the yellow trim. They didn't have the gold trim yet. Ultramarines got their gold trim in their 4th edition codex, which I may have. I may still have that. But yeah, so there was, you know, you get like this cool artwork of this Crimson Fist, this huge like red power fist that's like looks all grimdark and everything, and then you have these like bright yellow Ultramarines on the next page. Six more. Second company's always shown. Yep. The 4th edition, I think it was the 4th edition Space Marine Codex. 4th or 5th, I'll have to go through and look. They show, one thing they show is they show the entire second company of the Ultramarines. They give a name for every single Marine in the second company. They show each of the squads. Every squad, they show their layout. Every squad has a name, and they show the name of every Marine in the squad. And they even have a little blurb about every squad, or most squads, like why they got their name. Like there's one squad, they're called like the Titan Killers, the Devastator Squad, and they got their name because they took down a Warhound Titan in an engagement, like one Devastator Squad. Or there was there's a squad called the Immortals. It's a tactical squad, and they haven't lost a member of their squad in like 100 years. So they're, you know, like they work really well together, and they're like super experienced. Like no one leaves the squad, but like, you know, it's the Immortals, and they show, you know, they have Cato Sicarius as the that had to have been the 5th edition codex then, as the captain, and they don't show a lot of the auxiliaries or anything, but super cool. They also had a page, I think it's in the same book, where they break down every company in the Ultramarines chapter. So it tells you the makeup of every company, their colors, their captains. They show all the auxiliaries, like how many Land Raiders does the Ultramarines own? You know, like how many ships do they have? How many rhinos do they have? Like they show all that information. It's like the whole chapter is completely mapped out. Super cool. And they use like that simple art to show all the troops too, like the like that front facing like Space Marine that people use as like coloring guides and stuff. That's what they use. The 4th edition Space Marine Codex had a really good create your own chapter rules. It was a little like easy to abuse, but it was basically you would choose advantages and disadvantages. So, you know, you would choose something like that benefited your Marines on like the assault phase, like in melee combat. But if you chose that, it was worth like, you know, it was like a big advantage. So you had to choose like 2 disadvantages that you had to give your army. Like, you can't take any mounted troops, or all your soldiers had to be in rhinos or something. Like, there was like a give and take on like a make your own chapter. What people tended to do is, you know, they would obviously choose their chapter rules like as they were making their army list, and you would tailor it, which I don't think was necessarily the idea, but if people going to tournaments could really abuse that. I think it was more like, my chapter is this. I am the Raven Swords chapter, and, you know, my chapter focuses on jump pack infantry, and, you know, like, not being super sneaky about it or whatever. So you would base your chapter around that. Yeah, it was really cool for homebrew chapters, but they ended up taking that out. And what they ended up doing in 5th edition was there weren't rules for chapters. There were obviously like the non-codex compliant Dark Angels, Black Templars, Space Wolves, and Blood Angels. But for the codex compliant chapters, all they did was every one of the major chapters had a special character. So Lysander, you know, Darneth Lysander, you had Ultramarines had 10 characters, but you know, you had was it Vulcan Histon, Kasoro Khan, and then Kavan Shrike. And then they gave your army rules if you had them in your army. So if you wanted to run Salamanders, you had to run Vulcan Histon. But he would give your whole army a really good buff. So it was like their way of saying, you know, like, people were abusing this too much. I don't think Ultramarines got rules from their characters, though. But they had like eight special characters they could take. But they're just the generic ones. There's nothing different about the Ultramarines. They are what they are. The edition tournament against Tau in 3rd round. I won a single game, forgot to disembark onto objective. Just learning experience from my opponent. Destroyed my raider, putting my unit on the objective. Nice. Nice. Going to 5th edition tournaments as Dark Eldar was a ton of fun. I had a lot of good moments. One was playing against a Blood Angels player who pretty much had an entire Deep Strike army. And so there was a moment where he had Dante with unit of Sanguinary Guard, and he Deep Struck, and he killed something, I'm sure, with like shooting. You couldn't assault the turn you Deep Struck in, so he sat there. Well, I shot at him and I killed 2 of the 5 Sanguinary Guard. And it was enough to force a morale check. And he failed it. Because, you know, Dante's leadership 10, but it's not like impossible to fail. So he failed his leadership check. He started running toward the board edge. He didn't make it. Well, I had my Venom close enough to that squad, and it was a rule. I can't remember what the rule was called, but basically, if an enemy unit was so close to your unit that was fleeing, your unit couldn't rally. So I just kept my Venom close to him. And the next turn, they didn't run all the way off the board, but they couldn't rally. So I just took my Venom and I moved it closer to them. And so I had one Venom, a 50-point Venom, 55-point Venom maybe, walked Commander Dante and a unit of Sanguinary Guard off the board. Felt really good. That was a fun moment. Yeah. I played a Tyranid player in a tournament once. And I'm sure you remember Poison Weapons, how you know, everything in the Dark Eldar army was good against everything in the Tyranid army. It was like such a bad matchup for Tyranids. And as soon as he got his minis to the table, like I got to the table and I saw his army, I apologized to him. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, this is probably going to suck for you. Because I was the only Dark Eldar player, and he was the only Tyranid player in like a 50-person tournament. And we ended up playing against each other, like 3rd round. Yeah, it's like it doesn't matter what you have. I'm wounding everything on a 4-up. And then things I struggle, things with a high armor save, I have Dark Lances. That'll wound you probably on a 2, and will ignore your armor save. So just enough of this stuff here. Yeah, Tyranids have had a lot of additions. They were bad in 4th, bad in 5th. I didn't play enough 6 to know. Remember, they were bad in 9th. Great moment where my Archon was powered up to strength 10. Yeah, the Huskblade and Soul Trap, right? That feels good. The instant death on the Huskblade. That's the dream, yeah. I played against someone, I used to take Duke Sliskus and Baron Sathanix a lot. So, I would take Baron Sathanix with a big blob of like 15 Hellions, because he was like the Hellion Archon. And he had a Shadow Field, and he would tank so much damage. And he gave a bunch of cool rules to Hellions too, so he would, yeah, the Duke let you deep, which I never bothered with. Like, Deep Strike was always super risky back in the day. I used the Duke, I took him in one tournament, yeah, he gave him 3+ poison. It was 3+ poison, but I would put him with a big blob of 20 warriors with a bunch of splinter weapons. And you just give him the 3+ poison. They were killing like units of Terminators in one volley. Okay. I need to do some touch-ups. So here's what I gotta do. Yeah, the Lawman had the 2+, yeah. But yeah, those combination, and they both gave you advantages to like going first. So I don't remember who did what, but I think the Duke let you seize on a 4+, and Baron let you reroll to see who goes first. So it was like, you're really shooting to go first, and everything was big Alpha Strike edition anyway. Oh yeah, I'm playing with Night Fighting, yeah. I don't know if that's gonna work out. Is there a different color? Bone might work a little better. The Flamers are brutal, yeah. Splinter racks on the Raiders, yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Open topped. I love 5th edition. 5th edition was so much fun. Yeah, yeah. 5th edition had like a lot of like good simplicity to it. Probably not as simple as like 10th. Okay, that's way better. Okay. So bone works really well here. Hey, Sham Shalabim, welcome. It's on the fence about 10th. 9th was okay. I wasn't a huge fan of 9th just because it was like needlessly complex. Tenth is nice because I can walk away from 10th and I can come back like a month later and I still have all the rules. And I like how often they update the game too, since it's not like 40K. I don't know if I'd consider it my main game, but I play a lot of different games, so I don't mind so much the change up in the rules. It gives you an excuse to use different things. Okay, going through, we're doing touch-ups. JQ ref, yeah, Johnny Quest, right? That's an old reference. I mean, I like the shakeups. You face different lists. Yeah, yeah. If the game were more balanced, like more like internal balance and like in the army books and stuff, I would be fine with less updates. One of the games I played the most in my life was Star Wars Armada. In that game, you would get a new wave of miniatures every year, maybe, and it wasn't a lot. So, like, what would happen is the meta never got stale. It was basically there would be a boogeyman that would come out, with the wave. Everybody's like, this is the greatest thing. And you would slowly see the morph of people correcting their list to handle the new thing. And you had like an entire year to do it. So it was like it would slowly evolve, and then by the time the next wave of things came out, like the meta might be completely different than what everybody expected or what kind of settled in. And as people correct things, they change, people alter their lists, and continues to do that. Yeah, I mean, I just like the biggest thing I like about 40K changing it up is I like an excuse to look at different minis to put on the table. I'm looking at my Space Marines. I have a whole bunch of miniatures that have never seen the table. But it's always cool to like have that hope of like, well, maybe next time, they'll get their points lowered or we'll get a change of rule and we can work out something to play, this cool unit or whatever. Like, that's fun. I like that. Being able to add models per unit 9th. Yeah, the 10th power level is the worst thing about 10th edition. Yeah, the point system and every unit having an ability. Those are my most hated things about 10th. I wish some units were just there, like they were squad, you paid points, they have a gun, they have OC. That's what they do. Like, I hate that every single unit has an ability. But yeah, the power level stuff is awful as well. There's always seemed like the expectation was that they would release actual points, and they just never did. Yeah, losing psychic stuff kind of stinks. for the sake of balancing the game, right? Well, the biomorph bits Nids used to have, yeah. See, my thing is when I get to like missing old school like 40k and stuff, I just look at Heresy. Heresy is like a 7.5 edition. So, it doesn't quite hit the same as like 5th edition, but it has a lot of those same elements. I know people are like, I can't use my Tyranids, I can't use my Xenos, and all that stuff, which is fair, but to me, it feels like I'm playing older 40k when I play Heresy, and I love it. Too much problem. 10th is not enough problem. Both in different ways, yeah. 10th was also weird when they added keywords back, which is amazing. I'm so happy they have keywords back in the game. However, they did it like halfway. Like, they made keywords for some things, and other things that they should have, they just didn't. Because if they made a keyword for a sticky objective, then there are about a dozen units that wouldn't have a super special unique ability. And since every unit has to have an ability, they couldn't do that. When instead of like whatever weird wording they have that they put in a text block for at least a unit in every army, now they have, this, it's really annoying. They could have just made a keyword, gave the unit the keyword, there's their ability, boom. It's a keyword. That's fine. Unit abilities being keywords is okay. Dragon. All our stuffed animals and curled up on top of them. Nice. The dog knows comfort. The touch-ups, just on these platings, and again, I might just call it on these minis. We're just going for like a tabletop standard. Tabletop standard takes 30 hours, or whatever I put into these minis. Fifth. Been okay with it. See, I was okay with 7th. I hated 6th edition. 6th edition was awful, and there was a reason why it lasted like a year. 7th edition was better. My big problem with 7th was 7th had too many like rerolls and auras. 7th was way too complicated for what it should have been, and coming out of like 5th edition and like 6th edition was awful, and 7th edition was basically just like a 6.5. I tried 8th edition when they're like, look, we're revamping the rules, here we go, and me and a buddy, the day they released the indexes, we hung out and we played 2 games. That day we played 2 games and we hated it. Never played 8th. That was it. I was done with 40k at that point. And I stopped with 40k until the latter part of 9th, and that was after I started streaming, and then it was also after I started painting minis for a full-time job. I still wasn't playing 40k. But I think slowly just being exposed to it so much, I got back into it. And I had sold a lot of my armies. I had got rid of a bunch of things. Yeah, these minis take way too long to paint, guys, for what they are. Death Guard details. Yeah, no thanks. I'll pass on those Death Guard details. It's funny. Death Guard looks so simple and interesting. You're like, yeah, cool. Look, you paint a couple colors, you put washes on it, you mess with contrast and everything. But it is not that. They are way more complicated and time consuming because every mini has its own thing going on. Hey, Sectorix and Spitfire minis. How you doing, Spitfire? It's been a while, man. I was actually just thinking the other day, Spitfire, I was like, man, I haven't seen that guy in a while. I hope he's doing okay. I just had that thought 2 days ago. So I'm glad I was able to summon you. I hope you're doing well. Life's treating you well. Sectorix, I am suffering. This is pure pain and suffering, but I'm about to call them finished. Just at this little kind of weird tabletop standard that I got on him. And I think we're just gonna do that. Because I have spent way too much time on these minis. A week to do 3. Yeah, a week to do 3 sounds reasonable. I've been painting these for weeks now. Super busy with summer class and stuff. Appreciate you thinking about me. Yeah. Oh man, I'm glad. Glad you're staying busy. First stream I found when I started getting into Warhammer. I wanted to learn. That's great, man. I'm glad. Always glad it can be, I guess a bit of a positive influence here. Just get mad at painting all this. Yeah. You know what, Sectorix? This is my first time ever messing with these, and I just happened to get all 18 at once. I don't think sub-assemblies would have made this any faster. What would have made this faster is if I base coated these guys with silver. Maybe. But then it's just a whole other problem. I don't think there was going to be a fast way to paint these minis. They're just going to take a ton of time, and that's just what they're going to do. $18. Yeah, I have 18 of them. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Just trucking along on these minis. We're on the Death Guard vehicle models, so I'm painting them. Oh, okay, yeah, you're doing a bunch of different stuff. Gotcha. I don't know a lot of those acronyms, but cool. Malefic Blight Hauler, Fetid Blow Drone, and the... I don't know, PBC. I don't know. Like broadcasting channel. Any armies you turn down for commissions? No. I'll tell you the secret. You want to hear the secret for painting commissions like that? Plague Burst Crawler, that's what it is. I knew it was like the tank with the mortar on it. I just couldn't remember what it was called. The secret to Votann is that I don't say no to jobs. Very rarely. If I say no to something, it's because it's like someone wants me to paint something I've never done that's like completely different from like miniatures. And I'll say like, I'm sorry, I don't like that's, not my expertise. I figure out how much time it's going to take me. And if it's going to take a lot of time, then I charge a lot more money. Because time is money, right? That's what I base my commission pricing off of, is how much time I think it's going to take to paint. Obviously, that comes with experience. But if it's... I've had moments where, like, there's just something I really don't want to paint. And I give a somewhat exorbitant number, in my opinion. And people still accept the commissions. And I'm like, yay! Oh. Like, I'm both happy and I'm, like, upset at the same time. Because I'm like, I don't want to do it, but also money. So... Which army gets the automatic upcharge because painting them sucks? Votann. Votann bikes. Double the price automatically. Paint my entire house with Corax White in a 00 brush. Edge highlight the panels and doors. Alright. I mean, if you got a spare, like, 400k sitting around Sectrix, I'd be happy to do it for you. Price is more time involved than model to paint. Yeah, and it very much is time. Like, all my pricing is based off of time. It's just, specific models take more time to paint than others, so... Genestealer Cult's annoying? Yeah. I have never painted Genestealer Cult as a commission, but I have painted my own Genestealer Cults. And I enjoy painting them, but they are very time consuming. Very time consuming, yeah. Most things in 40k, I am happy to paint just to paint. I'd always tell people, like, if someone put a gun to my head and said, like, hey, you have to paint this army for 40k, and collect this army, I'd be fine with any of them. I would collect knights, I'd collect, AdMech. I could probably make Votann work. Like, those are probably Votann, AdMech are probably the two worst, in my opinion. But as far as, like, cool factor goes, like, pretty much everything in 40k, I'm kind of interested in. The thing that one thing that makes commissions difficult for me specifically is okay, so like I have ADHD, so for me, getting a project done and moving on to the next thing is really important. So when I'm stuck in the mud with like one job, like painting the same minis, it becomes very difficult for me. Like, I struggle with motivation, so like I have to like really push myself to get through it. Another thing that makes it difficult for me to paint is a color scheme that I don't enjoy. So if someone has like a homebrew color scheme for an army and it's like the colors are really wacky on it, and like I'm not like jiving with the colors on it, I struggle really hard. Site spoiler pair has the option to take a battle cannon. There's a blast and rapid fire keywords. Rapid fire D6 plus 3. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, that's like the knight. That's like the classic knight, like battle cannon weapon, right? I always thought that was like their basic weapon that they came with. Those Tyranids probably take the least amount of time. Necrons, completely. Tyranids, maybe not so much. Yeah, Tyranids have some weird details on them that take a lot of time. But yeah, if you're just doing like contrast, like simple stuff, you could probably do Tyranids pretty quick. Nothing beats painting a Necron army though. Okay. I quit doing commissions for painting, but I can be convinced for single models, yeah. Painting single minis is the best as a commission painter. I'm convinced that. I have yet... Okay, so I've painted a Luminor Ceres. I own him. I don't own the Silent King or a Monolith. I'd be happy to paint either one. If someone were to just mail me one and like I would just have it, like, you know, I'd be very happy about it. Silent King is definitely on the bucket list. And monoliths are like cool. So yeah, painting single minis is the way to go with commissions, because you're like, you can put all your focus into one mini. You're not repeating the same color over the course of 20 minis, which is like, again, it's tedious to do that. It's goes against my ADHD. And yeah, it's like you're done with that color, you're done. You could put that time into doing those highlights and stuff, and you can have like a good looking mini at the end. You're just like, hey, yeah, cool, I painted this, I'm happy about this. Like, I can spend time on the details. Dominus Bauxite Elite Edition Necrons. Only commission for someone, yeah. Singles are fun, yeah. Oh, cool, okay, yeah. The basics on Necrons are so easy to paint. My first Necron minis, because I have a Necron army, was the World Scour Legion holiday set. It's like the two Doomstalkers. There's a heavy Locust Destroyer. There's a bunch of warriors. There's a couple things like that. Big holiday box. I painted that whole set in 12 hours. I made it like a 12 hours. This was my first 12-hour stream. I was like, hey, I'm going to paint this set from start to finish in 12 hours. I did some airbrushing, just like the base coat airbrushed, but otherwise, start to finish that whole box in 12 hours. And I was like, all right, like I can do this. I can paint this army. So like Necrons are like, for a long time, Necrons were like the like palette cleanser. I would paint like a commission and I'd be like tired of it. I'd go and paint a squad of Necrons for myself, because it'd take me an afternoon to paint a squad of warriors, and then I'm good. I have minis for myself. I can say I got something for myself, and then I'm, you know, done basically, and I can move on to the next thing. So, all right. Yeah, the blue one there is okay. It's all right. Only painted one Necron. Oh, excuse me. It's Trazen. Nice. I only have one named Necron. It's a Luminor Ceres. Welcome Necrons are a reaction to having to paint huge orc commission. Gloss and matte airbrushing metallic inks. Oh, cool. Very cool. Nice. You know, I've never painted an orc army for someone. A Luminor Ceres was a crazy mini. The assembly of that mini was wild. I would get people that would contact me about painting armies, like orc armies for them, and they would send me a list of like 200 minis, including like, you know, yeah, I got 90 orc boys or 80 orc boys. I have, you know, like 40 beast snagas. I have these like beast riders. I have two war rigs. I have you know, battle wagon, a bunch of trucks, artillery pieces, and they just like go on and on and on. Like, cool, how much would it take you to paint this? And I sit down, I do kind of the math on what I think it would take. I look at the minis, you know, and go through, and I give them a crazy number into the thousands of dollars, and they're like, whoa, what do you mean it's going to take you that to paint? I was like, dude, you have 150 minis on this list, including vehicles, and whatever the heck this war rig thing is, that's like a chariot, but it's bigger than any tank I own. And like, if you look at the Beast Snagas, those minis are so detailed and intricate because GW and their detail creep. Like, every single orc player that I've had come to me about a commission, and it has been a giant army, and they've always turned it down after I give them a number. Like, just because your minis are cheap to put on the board doesn't mean they're cheap to paint, or they're quick to paint. We're gonna put LEDs in his command barge and monolith? That's cool. That's cool. I'll decline to build a Luminor Ceres again? That's funny, yeah. Oh, man. So... I got these done. I have a bunch of characters here. So, these guys plus the 4 robots that go with this guy. This guy right here. But I think that's going to be tomorrow. I'm going to work on all those minis. Lady cat ear headbands, I could say. Okay, sure, Hellchorn. You okay, man? I mean, hey, we all got our hobbies. It's fine. Putting dread mobs. Oh, cool. Those look cool, but man, they just look like they take forever to paint. So I have those characters to paint. On my own, for my own projects, I have a librarian in Phobos. You can see he's dry brushed, so he's got his kind of armor highlight on him. And I have 3 more aggressors. And the aggressors will look, I brought an example mini down here. The aggressors will look like this when they're done. So, yeah, and then my aggressors and my tournament army will be ready for Saturday. So on my own time, I need to paint these Ultramarines. But I'm hoping to finish... Man, I love these aggressor minis too. They really grew on me. Like, he's just simple, right? Just simple paint scheme. Nothing crazy, nothing complicated. It's a Ultramarines aggressor. I'm gonna field a big unit of 6 of them. It's gonna be great. But yeah, that is that's the plan. I have to drill out their barrels. Okay, remember to do that. I do have a. Oh, that's exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, Votann. Yeah, with fire discipline. I have eliminators here. They are not going to be in the tournament list, so I can wait a little longer to paint them. But I'm happy with the dry brush, though. Dry brush looks good. Yeah. All right. I need to tell you guys this. This is my local store. I love my local game store. All right, so don't let this mean like I'm just like trashing my local game store. Okay. But yeah, they are pretty pricey. Yeah, for 3 of them. Those Gravis, the way they charge you for Gravis Marines, yeah. Back when I started this commission, which I think I got these. Oh, I just realized I missed a whole thing right here. Maybe April when I first talked to the gentleman about this list, and I put these minis on order at my local game store. I was like, cool. I was like, you send me what you have, I'll order the rest. And I ended up ordering, it was 3 boxes that I needed of these bikers specifically. 3 boxes of 3. He sent me 9. I need to get 9 more. So I saw they had 1 on the shelf. I was like, great, got 1 on the shelf. That's cool. And I ordered 2 more back at the end of April. I think it was April. It could have been earlier. It could have been March. I don't quite remember. So I ordered, I'm going to go through, I'm going to look. It was March. It was the end of March when I ordered 2 boxes of these Pioneers. Never came in. I ended up looking. So I would go to the store randomly, and they would put like 1 box out. It's like, okay, are they waiting for my order, or what are they doing? And there's I went to a couple different stores locally. I ended up finding boxes, the other 2 boxes for these on a shelf. So I just bought the boxes. Okay, so I got them. I talked to one of the people at the front desk. I canceled my order because I'm not going to have them, you know, like bring, and they're really cool about it. You don't pay until it actually comes in. You buy the minis, so it's fine. So I cancel the order. They'll sell anyway. People apparently buy these minis like crazy. Yesterday, I got a text from my local store that these minis came in. My 2 boxes of Hernkin Pioneers came in. I canceled this order a month and a half ago, and they came in. I was like, what is going on? I canceled this. So I don't know. I need to call them. I need to call them probably today. Be like, yeah, I canceled that a while ago. But whatever. It is what it is. Let's see. I'll put you guys up. I also have this guy to paint. There's another one here. His cape is separate, but I need to trim down his cape a little bit. But I have this mini. His little cape goes on right there. But yeah, this is the Thousand Sons Librarian console for Horus Heresy. So yeah, we're just filling in some gaps and everything, but pretty good mini though. Didn't need to do any or much warping or unwarping on the mini, so it'll be good. All right, guys, I think yeah, they're the best chapter, best loyalist chapter. They were loyalists, you know. The Emperor just really hated them being loyalists. That's pretty much all it is. Honestly, my only YouTube video that isn't assembly directions. Groovy, you have assembly direction YouTube videos? That's a really good idea, actually. It's pretty amazing. I'm gonna call the stream there for today. I don't know if Zen is still lurking, if he's able to raid. If not, Ricky Tech Marine is okay to use in 30k. If it's not Primaris, probably, but I mean, ask the if you're gonna play 30k, just ask the people. Be like, hey, I have this Tech Marine, and they'll probably be fine with it. Or DM screens. What are you talking about? I don't know. Oh, Metal Firstborn? Yeah, it should be fine. No, it totally should be fine. I don't see an issue with that, with the Tech Marine. Yeah, we're gonna call the stream there today, guys. I should be back on. I'll be back on tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. I think we're gonna be working on the all these Votann characters. That's what we're gonna do. I might get a little head start on them tonight. I don't know. We'll see. But thank you guys for coming to hang out. I really appreciate it, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. And your work days are good, and everybody's having a great time. Yeah, I love it, Obarian. I think it's great. It's just great chatting with you guys in general. I think it was a really nice stream. Felt good, like, I guess, kind of finishing some minis. So, I appreciate it, guys. And you guys have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.